Hi, welcome to the Man United agenda. I'm smiling, but in my heart, like tears of a clown. Oh God, it's terrible. 1-1. We drew Leicester. It's not good enough. Good evening. My name is OMONDI. This is the Man United agenda. I hope you've been following us all week, building up to this game, and what an anticlimax. I'm joined by Mr. B. How you doing, Mr. B? You watched the game, but unfortunately you weren't doing a watch along. So, what's your views? Feeling good?
I've got sound back, so yeah, I'm good. I've had an hour of reflection, and my mind hasn't
That's
changed
what I was worried
what
about.
It was before. Yeah, listen.
I think 5 minutes after the game, you would have been a different monster.
Do you know what? You know, when you have no expectation anymore, you don't get disappointed. My expectation is done, so they don't disappoint me now. I just want the season to finish. We finish where we finish, and just let the new thing. I'm done getting upset. I'm done getting. Honestly, It's just, what is there to get upset about? I said we weren't going to finish in fourth. I did say that to you in December, January.
Yeah, but it doesn't make you feel good saying that now, does it?
Oh, bruv, of course it doesn't. I would rather you. No. I would rather you and Solo were right. I'll be honest. I'd rather you and Solo were right. But it's an expectation that I had, and these MFs are not disappointing me because they're I'm going to mute my mic because I can feel it all coming.
Speaking of expectations, I'm expecting a great show because we've got bath time on. How you doing, bath time? Are you right, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right. I am gutted with that, and I'm looking forward to hearing like your opinions, people in chats about what's gone wrong, because it's gone wrong. Our club is a disaster. Yes,
we're just talking about expectations. Mr. B was saying talking about January, and what were your expectations like at the start of the season, and what were your expectations when Ralph came in?
Well, at the start of the season, like I thought Champions League was a certainty, right? A top 4 finish. I expected us to get to the quarterfinals in the Champions League and to still be in a title race sort of towards the end of this month. I didn't think that we would win, but I thought it was the start of the return of Manchester United. I was on the show roughly around the time that Ragnick joined, and I remember we all did a prediction. Right. Everyone gave their points and stuff, and I said I thought we'd finish 6th, and I think that we'd do well to finish 6th now.
Like Mr. B, are you feeling good about that?
No. No, I'm
making you feel good.
It doesn't make me feel good. Like I hate it, but the evidence is all there. My expectations when Ralph came in, anything less than finishing in a Champions League spot when Ralph came in, I thought would be like a failure. And it's, for me now, it's whether it's a mitigated failure or if it's just his failure. But we'll get onto that later, I imagine.
So on that now, I just want to introduce Paddy as well. Paddy looks vexed. He looks, oh dear. Paddy, the mood is okay here. We just asked you 2 quick questions. Welcome to the show for starters.
What
was your expectation quickly at the start of the season and your expectation when Ralph came in? Make it quick because we're going to move on.
Okay. I mean, I thought we did at the very start of the season after the Leeds game. I thought we would, can you see me, by the way?
Yep. Pretty face. Same as ever.
Get me back here. Hold on. Where the hell have I gone now? Basically, I thought we would. I can't get you back. I do apologise. I don't know. I've lost.
We're here. We can see you.
We can see you. Yeah,
we can see a beautiful face.
And basically, I thought we did really well after the Leeds game, and then Ralph. What happened today in the end of the season? It's been a bit of a damp squib. So I'm concerned.
Okay, so we're going to move on. First thing we want to talk about, I just want to go over it quickly, is the starting lineup. So obviously, big news before the game, Ronaldo wasn't playing. Apparently he's got a flu or cold. Doctor went to see him at home today. at his yard, and they said he's not fit enough to go. This is coming from Ralph and for the club as well. So no Ronaldo, similar to what we played against Man City as well. So I want to go ask you guys, because I think the lineup, it's not, well, I think, what's the name? Solo maybe could have picked a better lineup than that. We were flat, didn't really, no fluent kind of play. My issues quickly with the lineup was, I'm going to ask you guys, would you have amended it? In hindsight, it's always a good thing. And I didn't think, I think what he wanted to do was have the two guys, Pogba and Bruno, sort of come deep, get the ball, and give that possession. And then the wide guys sort of getting in behind, have those second runs, and Fred maybe have forward runs as well. But I don't think that came off. The defense was sitting there, nothing was getting in behind them. And so I didn't think it worked. So over to you guys. I'm going to start with you, because you just arrived, Paddy. I'm going to bombard you with questions now. Can you fire away with that one, please? Let me know what you think. Starting lineup, what would change? What do you think Ralph wanted from that lineup?
I don't know what he wanted, to be fair. I think he got lost from the start. He's got this thing about the false number 9, and I'm thinking, false what though? I think it's all wrong. I think it's all from the very start. The tactics were wrong from the very start, and then as it went on, you could see it was all wrong completely. It was like a mismatch. So that's all I can say. I'm on doing that at the moment, but I don't know what he was. I don't know where he was going with it. I just got bored. I don't know where he's going, Ralph, for the lineup. I watched him on the bench. He flicked back to the bench with him and the other guy from, and then Darren Ferguson sitting there chewing gum, thinking that summed it up for me. All three of you, I see no evil, hear no evil. The three monkeys on the bench. You know what I mean?
You have to laugh today, innit? Oh dear, Mr. B, starting lineup. What would you change? What do you think he was trying to do, our manager?
I'll be honest. I don't know what he was trying to do. If you've got a formation and you've got, I don't know where Pogba and Bruno. Sometimes Pogba was ahead of Bruno. Sometimes it was they were told just to play in space. I don't know what formation we started in. You did ask me before the show, and I didn't answer you. I tried to poo-poo it because I'll be honest, bruv, I don't know what formation we started in. There was players playing all over the place. The defenders played in the right position. Everybody else was trying to do a thing. I don't even know what to call it. I don't know what to expect from the team anymore, OMONDI. I sit here every week. We've had 2 weeks where I thought that something would have been sorted out, and you come back and it's worse. We've had issues with McFuckeries already. You know what my opinion on is that. That's never going to change. But the fact that they both started deeper, where none of them can play, confuses me. The squad is so imbalanced in what we have. I mean, Ronaldo's out, Cavani's out, and we don't have another striker to play. So obviously he's tried to do something with the formation, but the players we had weren't there all week anyway. They've been back for 2 days from international duty. So even if it was something that he wanted to work on, they didn't have the time to do it. So I'm confused. I'm confused right now. Ralph's confusing me.
Well, get some clarity here. Bath time. The system. What do you think the system was he was trying to set up there? The shape. What did you see? Because Gary Neville said 4-2-2-2. I could also see a 4-4-2. I could see different shapes out there. I want your analysis of it. And also, I think, what do you think he was trying to achieve with that lineup?
Okay, so normally when we have Ronaldo has started operating as essentially a false 9 that creates space for inside forwards to come in. Against Manchester City, Ronaldo obviously didn't play, and we had a very, very similar setup with Bruno and Pogba. Bruno and Pogba, I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to pull the opposition centre backs forward, like as a false 9 would, but he has Bruno and Pogba interchanging to try and confuse them even more, with the idea that because Paul Pogba is such a dominant physical presence, that Pogba would be attacking the ball in the box. I think that's what the idea was, but unfortunately he by doing that and having inside wingers instead of inside forwards, with the difference being that an inside winger holds the width. So you had Sancho and Elanga very, very wide, and Pogba's lack of work rate, essentially, and Bruno's lack of positional intelligence. Not that he's a bad player, but just as a false nine, he's not a false nine. For me, at least. I think that was the idea. And what makes it a bit crazy for me is that it was almost set up to exclude Rashford. Like it was. This is something that was also said on commentary, so it's not just my own work. But I don't understand how we could have trained all week with presuming that Ronaldo was going to play, and then just gone, all right, lads, let's put out the formation, the tactics that failed to beat Man City. Pogba, Bruno start up front. Absolutely ridiculous, a poor decision. And I also thought that swapping Maguire and Varane was very strange and counterproductive. As we saw, both our fullbacks useless.
Yeah. What do you think the reasoning behind that was swapping? Because Maguire's so used to playing on the left, isn't he? Anyone want to answer that? Said about pairing, they mixed it up, didn't they? I did. All right, let me just answer that myself. I think Maguire did play a lot of cross-field passes, something he doesn't really do because he's right-footed, because he's on the right-hand side. He played it. We were focusing on the left. He did try and ping some balls across from the left. So I thought, okay, maybe that's the reason why. Varane didn't have the best games.
Do you think Maguire has the ability to play that pass? In all fairness, OMONDI, do you think if that? I don't know why I asked you, Paddy. Do you think that? Do you think that Maguire has that ability? I will. I should have asked you.
Mr. B, I watched again today and we discussed it the other night. Varane and Harry Maguire don't communicate. It's like they're like, I don't know, one's deaf and the other one doesn't want to listen to the other person. And I saw that again.
Hear no evil, see no evil. As you say.
They just don't know to communicate. And that second goal that they scored Leicester, that should have really happened. And I think Telles, again, I'm going back to Telles, you just mentioned Telles then. Again, I saw in the Madrid match, he's lacking a bit on his positional play again. He's not the left back for us. He's just not at all. But you're right. But Maguire, okay, Ken, but he worries me. And Varane worries me. I don't know what it is. There's an apprehension with Varane. I do worry about him. He's come from Madrid. It's a worry with me with Varane. I don't know. It's tearing at me.
Okay. Do you second that? Anyone half time Varane? Is that a worry for you?
Yeah.
He gets injured a lot, that's for sure.
I mean, like in terms of them switching positions, the only thing that I can really sort of think of tactically is that Delot is suspect at defending back post crosses, and so maybe putting Maguire on the right side helps him out there. Like, I mean, I think Harvey Barnes very nearly scored from Delot switching off in the first half. With Varane, I've been devastated with Varane's performances at Manchester United. It's apart from his pace, which has got us out of trouble, and it did today a few times, and he also won the ball for our goal. I think he's been really, really poor. And the thing about Maguire, I know everyone doesn't like him at the moment, apart from OMONDI. He still is our only centre-back that can progress the ball and goes and attacks the ball. And I just cannot have a Manchester United centre-back like Varane not attacking the ball. Against Atletico Madrid, for their goal, he didn't even put his foot out to stop the cross. It's unacceptable. And whatever you say about Harry Maguire would have tried to stop the cross.
And just to say as well, Harry Maguire has got the most clearances for Man United this season at 90, probably 99, probably 190 after today's game. He was man of the match, in my opinion. Anyway, I'm just joking. But Harry Maguire does have good stats. He does clear the ball. And as Bath Time just highlighted, I think they're two different players. I think with Varane, he will sit back and wait and try to get you to steer you away from goal and run with you and pinch the ball, that sort of player. Whereas Harry Maguire, obviously, he wins more headers. He's got a lot of good aerial ability as well. But yeah, I think it's not working as a partnership between the two of them. Just to read the starting lineup, guys, because what I do want out of you guys is what would you do? I know, like I say, hindsight is a good thing, but what system and what style of play would you do with the players available? So he started with De Gea, Dalot, Harry Maguire, obviously on the right side of the centre-backs. Varane, Shaw played. He got injured. Fred, McTominay, and they were the two in midfield, Fred and McTominay. Then you had Pogba playing sort of as a number 8-10 ahead of them. Sancho on the left, mixing it up with Elanga and Bruno up top. But what with the Rashford as well? There's a lot of talk about Rashford. We'll come on to in a minute. But what system is that? The right system, guys, going forward? I mean, what's going on there, Mr. B?
It's a mismatch, Amanda. This is the point. Now I'm trying to.
I'm saying you picked your team yesterday. What would you have picked today?
I would have started Rashford just because he's the only player in the team who can play as bad as he has been playing. If we've had a formation of play, we've changed the formation today because we didn't have players. And this is my point. If you've been playing in a formation, don't change the formation. You have to change the players to adapt to you understand? And I just feel that today, because he didn't have Ronaldo and Cavani's just pissing off everybody. He's just whatever. We weren't able to play. We haven't got a younger one coming in to play. So the formation was already altered before we started playing. And I'm not going to say it confused the players, but it confused me watching because we didn't have.
With what you're saying is, with what we had available, you would just done a like for like normal formation, just swapping Ronaldo with Rashford.
Yes.
Half time and Paddy, what would you have done?
I think Rashford, definitely start, even though he probably doesn't deserve a start because of what's from his form. But it might have been a better take actually, and Mr. B's probably correct. But can I just make an analogy of today? And I was watching the game, obviously falling asleep first half, and then second game it heated up. But it was like, I don't know if you remember that film, The Dirty Dozen, where he puts all those convicts together as a team, and they go out to. I felt like a mishmash of 11 players with different. One can break a safe, one is good with a knife, one's good. And it was like a mishmash of not the team I want. It's not got the standard. It's a mishmash of. I don't know. Do you know where I'm going with this analogy? I'm both probably help me out here the next one. But I just felt straight away today. I thought, we're just. I don't know. I'm really lost at the moment tonight for the comments. We got how poor we were. Poor, utterly poor, dreadful.
Half time. What would you have done? Like for like, Rashford for Ronaldo, and kept the system the same, what we used to?
I'd have changed a few more players around. I'd have played a 4-3-3, and I'd have put Fred, McTominay, and Matic in the midfield, which I believe should be our midfield, and I'd have put Bruno, Sancho, and Rashford up front. So there's pace, creativity, and trickery. That's what I'd have done.
Thank you. No, I'm the same as well. Yeah, I think we.
And I played Wan-Bissaka.
Is that down to?
I'm sorry.
Would you?
Yeah, I would because I don't like Dalot. I definitely would have brought Wan-Bissaka on because, even though he's a technically limited player, he's a very good progressor of the ball, and he can go up and down without many issues. And Justin Thomas, their left back or whatever, their left back, he looked gettable to me.
Yeah.
There was Elanga, I think, went past him and someone else and got a yellow. It looked to me like their right hand side was gettable, and I thought that Sancho wasn't. I mean, he's linking play, he's playing nice, he's playing safe, he's playing without confidence. He wasn't playing like a Manchester United winger. And one thing you can say about Wan-Bissaka is that, I mean, he looks like a man falling down the stairs when he's dribbling, but at least he's going somewhere. So I would have had Wan-Bissaka on.
All right, guys.
Amanda, it's sad half time that you have to bring on Wan-Bissaka because he has been dire and is not a standard for United to replace another dire or poor right back. And Dalot and Telles, by the way, and I'm going back to the Madrid game, and I watched it. I saw Telles today. He goes, he's in front of me. How did he get in front of me for that goal, Leicester? I don't know when at the end of the game. for the goal.
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
They just got lost. Their position. They just. It just says a lot, doesn't it, Bath Tom, about the lack of. I mean, can I just go back to Sancho? He's got great abilities on the ball, and he gets on there and he's dribbling, then knocks it left, then knocks it right. There's no substance at the end of that thing, and I'm worried about Sancho. I really am on that, by the way.
Well,
all right, guys, I want to say to everyone in the comments, please press the like button and subscribe as well if you ain't subscribed already. I don't know how many likes you're on at the moment, but let's try and get 20 today. Let's try and get 20. Just want to go through a couple of comments. There's a lot of people in the house. Got to say hello. Obviously, Rebel Irishman, how you doing? He said we had the cutting edge of a blunt spoon today. Attack, unfortunately. Pat Lawless is in the house as well. We also got Pat Lawless is agreeing with Mr. B. He said, I've come to expect we won't score in the first 45 minutes. Let them score first and draw, and then like we have done in the past 90 games. Disappointed. Matthew Bassett is in the house as well. He said, I'm numb to Man United now. I expect this. That's how we all feel, I think. Yeah. We got Sam Spurs for life from Paxton Road, Spurs fan. They're still a point ahead of us. He's saying, someone passed me the butter kiss. Mr. B and Paddy, he says, big up. I want to say hi to Noah. Noah's in the house. Welcome, Noah, to Man United Agenda. Yeah, he says, we don't deserve this top 4 race. Yeah. It's over. Some of the players will leave. I promise you that Ronaldo doesn't want to play anyway for Europa League. We said that on the show a few times, haven't we, this season? TBO is in the house as well. He said, we are playing Conference League football next season. Mark my words. That is powerful. And so we just come on to the next thing now, the next subject. The next subject I wanted to talk about is 2 players who, one of them was on England duty, maybe not deserved. And the other one was definitely not on England duty. That's Rashford as well. So they've been booed a lot recently for mainly poor form. How do you think they performed today? Because a lot of pressure. I think we were talking before the game about pressure. And I remember when Paul Ince played in 1991 in the final against Laudrup, Koeman, this great Barcelona side, and he apparently was well nervous in the changing room. Like the governor was like shaking in his boots. That's a funny story. But apparently, Bath Time was telling me before the show. Do you want to tell him, Bath Time, about blowing chunks?
Oh yeah. Like apparently Lingard was meant to come on today, but wasn't able to because he was sick during the match. Which I assume is from anxiety, as you wouldn't take someone who was ill on the pitch. Yeah, I can see Paddy's face. Paddy, do you remember Wes Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be sick before every single match out of anxiety. It's not
My God.
but yeah, I just thought that was quite interesting. Like that's how bad the club is. That our players are vomiting like during matches.
So what about the Boo Boys then? A lot of anxiety with them. They had to go out there. Harry started the game especially. How do you think they performed after the last couple of weeks, especially Harry Maguire as well? Because he's been getting it, hasn't he? He's been getting pelters.
Yeah.
Mr. B, do you want to start us off?
First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you if they both got booed, because obviously I was trying to do the watch along, so I would have had the sound down. In regards to how they played, there was an instance where talk described their falling over maybe between Maguire and Varane a couple of times, one in particular. So Maguire will do nothing to impress me. Me personally, I think he's done at Manchester United. So unless he suddenly becomes,
never.
I just feel he doesn't have. I just feel that he's very limited in what he does as a defender. What he can do, he does well, but it's not. It's the other bits he needs to do better than he's able to do. Other parts that I'm worried. So it's the parts that are missing from Maguire's game is the issue with me. Rashford, as much as it hurts, I think Rashford's mind is no longer at Manchester United. I really, really do. Yeah, and maybe that was a reason why he hasn't started. I mean, look, he's been training for. Ralph's had him at the club for 2 weeks, and during that 2 weeks, he didn't do anything to show that he could start the game today.
Yeah,
he talks about what players are doing in training. Half of the squad went away. Only Sancho stayed, he stayed, and the younger players stayed. Even Alanga, God bless him, Alanga went. So who was left at the club? If he's supposed to be a senior player, to me, you're proving during that 2 weeks that you're ready to start. You know, but I'm beginning to wonder if his head is really on it, and he's playing like I don't think he really gives a shit. And I'm seeing a lot of the Martial attitude in him now, and I don't want to be seeing that in a player that who I think is great. I think is one of our own. So it's worrying. It's worrying.
Okay, bath time. What do you think about the boo effect, and how do you think they showed a lot of character to go out there today without puking up, and do you think they represented? I think Harry Maguire, is there a future for him and Marcus, or the fans, have they lost them now? Have they lost the support of the fans?
No, I think there is I think there's a future for both of them. I thought Maguire played quite well today. Like, I think he was our best defender. I know that Talk was livid with the goal of both our centre backs falling over, but I don't think I can ever criticise a player for trying to win the ball. Maguire actually did win the ball in that tackle, but I think he did okay. With Rashford, I sort of I agree with Mr. B that I think the course is run. Whatever hunger he had that got him to where he is now seems to have disappeared. And I don't want to speculate on his mental health, but there's obviously a big issue going on somewhere in his life. But the main issue for me with Rashford is one of our own, but it doesn't feel like it anymore. If he with his social media stuff, he feels so completely disconnected from the fan base that I find it difficult to get behind him. And I've never been a Rashford fan. Like, I've said this before, I don't like his lack of work rate. And today, I mean, there's been reports that him and Elanga are not fans of each other, with him describing Elanga as a teacher's pet, which might just, it's probably just dressing room stuff. But I mean, I think Rashford could have scored in the last minute if Elanga hadn't a slide tackled him. It's utterly ridiculous, but I think there's a way back for both of them, but not under this manager. We're in desperate need of someone to come in and just look after these broken boys in our dressing room.
Yeah, Patrick. Before I come on to you, I want you to add as well, because obviously Rashford played up front, and people say, "Oh, he can't play up front." What do you think about his movement up front? Do you think he can hold it up? Do you think he knows to make intelligent runs, that kind of thing? Do you think he's got it in him to be a striker, full-time striker? And Maguire as well, coming back from all the booing. How do you think they performed?
Yeah, I mean, I was pleased for Harry, to be fair, coming back. I mean, I'm not personal with Harry at all, and I was pleased that he showed character coming back today, and there's no need for booing at all. And I think the crowd did clap him. I was pleased for that. And he had I'm not a big fan of Mr. B's. I'm with Mr. B. I'm not a big fan of him. I want better in that defence. What was the other question? Sorry, on Monday.
Just about Rashford. I think he played up front on his own today, and in the first few minutes he ran into the channels with his pace, good attribute. He's got stretched got a corner out of it. What do you think about his overall play as a centre forward? Do you see him ever sort of being a main striker? I don't want
to give up in. I don't want to give up on Marcus, to be fair. I don't, but I am slowly getting there, because I'm wondering, did he peak a long time ago? I'm just wondering. It was a question I put in the last podcast about, did he peak a long time ago? Have we seen the best of him? And quite as Bath Times just said, that's what I think deep down. But he come on today and he did his best. You're right, it might be something to do with Elanga with that last gasp today that he tried to score. But the interesting about he said about Martial, by the way, Mr. B mentioned having that attitude. That is a concern, to be fair. But I went off Martial very quickly because his attitude and his moodiness for me was like, you know what, just go away. Just don't come back in this squad. Just don't turn up. Don't even turn up tomorrow morning, by the way, just stay. But you know what, if a new manager does come in and mend these broken boys, at Bath Time has said, yeah, of course, that's positive and I think it could happen. But what I want, and I said in the group chat today, was I want ruthlessness. I want like a Guardiola comes into that team and goes, by the way, you're my goalkeeper, but you're not, mate. I will be getting someone in. You know that, don't you? I want that. I want that axe to descend. Not like I'll give you 20 games and you're going to be my captain when you're not going to be. I don't want all that cuddly, put your arm around. I'm sorry. axe falls, I'm going to be bringing in better. By the way, you know that, don't you?
Yeah. Good job. Lingard's leaving. He'd be puking every day.
He's a home. He's like home. He's like a homeboy. Yo. God, yo. You know, he's good at that. He's brilliant at that, and he's got the hair. He's got the clothes and whatever. But I'm sorry, mate, Man United footballer. I'm sorry if you want to do your homeboy stuff on
somewhere else.
You know what I mean? Yo.
Guys, I've got a little segment. I just want to just my thoughts on the game. It is on McTominay. I've watched him today, and I just think, what is going on with this guy? To me, he's not good enough to play for Man United. He should be coming off the bench or be lucky to be in the first team. But it just seems he's always in the game. He's always first team player. Matic, I keep endorsing him. I think Matic is a much better player. He showed it again when he came on. Keeps the ball, control. You can't rush him. He turn away from you. He can pass to feet. He's very cultured midfielder. But McTominay is for me, at his age now, he hasn't improved. I think he should try to be a centre-back in a back three or something. I don't think he's good enough. He's done that for Scotland a couple of times. So my issue, in the 30th minute, poor pass by McTominay. This is in midfield. A very poor pass from him. Gave it away. And Iheanacho had a chance. And then he got a yellow card on the 49th minute where we saw I've seen Pogba get sent off for that against Young Boys. Something similar to that, where he sort of had his foot up and went in for a challenge. And he got sent off. Could have got sent off for that. He got a yellow card, luckily. And I just think that his distribution is poor. I see him trying to cross-field balls, trying to ping it. He ain't got that in the locker. He has to, I keep saying this all the time, he has to run closer to his target to receive the ball, to get them to receive the ball. Otherwise, you can't rely on him. He's right-footed, too right-footed. He hasn't got like that. Even a left-foot short pass, he struggles, I just don't see him as a potentially even Premiership class midfielder. I don't think he's got that. I look at James Garner, for example. He might not have the running power and that kind of thing, but he does so much more. I look at Tielemans today. Tielemans was really good. Like I said, an all-round midfielder, can do it all. Intercepting the ball, passing, popping it around the corner, that kind of thing. That's a real cultured midfielder. I don't like McTominay. Obviously, he's there at the moment, but I'm just saying, going forward, today was the final evidence I ever needed to say he's not going to be good enough. And I was saying this when people were saying he was man of the match in the Europa League Cup final because he was running around. But to me, at that level, he's giving the ball away. He has so much time and space. I mean, I wish I can get that sort of time and space in the Sunday League. I don't. He's got time and space, and he still can't pop the ball around. So that's just my rant. I don't know if any of you want to respond to that, but I'm saying, McTominay, if we're going forward, guys like McTominay are not good enough. And that's just based on technical ability. He doesn't have it in the locker.
Can I let Bath Time answer this part, and then I'll answer after Bath Time?
Go ahead.
All right. So I think everyone knows that I'm a massive fan of McTominay. I think McTominay is a first team player, and it is a view not shared with the panel, but is definitely shared by all of the managers who have managed him. I think McTominay is the only player that's never been dropped since his time at Manchester United. Not that I can think of anyway. I agree he didn't have a great game today, and I believe he lost the ball 9 times to my count, which is far too much for a man who was on for 65 minutes or so. But I think the most telling thing that I saw today is that, and please disagree with me if you like, if you think it's true. I don't think that Tielemans played particularly well, or in fact the Leicester midfield had much control of the ball until McTominay went off in the 60th minute. From that moment onwards, Leicester dominated the game. And it was because we didn't have a physical presence in the midfield intercepting and competing. Like on the telly, I don't know if any of you watched it on the telly, but you could hear you could hear the Leicester City coach constantly shouting second balls. Yeah, do you remember that? Yeah. And McTominay was the one who was competing for those second balls and winning them. I understand that people don't like McTominay here, and that's fine. I do. I think he plays his position quite well. His distribution was poor, but I think if you want to have a go at him, it's the Man City game the other week, or however long ago it was. I don't know if he wasn't fit, but he didn't run in that game.
None of them that time in that game. None of them ran at all. I was there for that Man City game.
Yeah,
none of them did.
Yeah, but McTominay and Fred, they are to me Manchester United players because they represent the values that I hold for the club, and the fundamentals are working hard and sacrificing yourself for your team. That is the first thing that you are as a Manchester United player, and that has to come first for me. But yeah, I understand why people will be upset, but I am quite interested to about why you thought. Why, if I'm right or if I'm wrong, in the fact that we lost control of the midfield after he went off.
I see your point where you're making that he does close down a lot, and that's his job. But I feel that I feel Tielemans had control of the game throughout the whole game. I didn't see any difference when McTominay was on or off. I think Tielemans, watching him as a baller, he gets the ball, he does the right thing. He's always looking up. You can close him down. He's popped it around you, that kind of thing. All throughout the game, I was admiring him. So I didn't really notice or feel that, like, I know you said about the second ball, I did hear that as well from the touchline. Whether it was a Man United, I don't know who was that, Man United or the Leicester coach saying that. I don't know. But I was Leicester guy.
Leicester.
So I have to go and review that, but I do think Tielemans is a class player, and I watched him throughout the whole game, and watching him and McTominay is like night and day for me with ability. And people say, like I kept saying the other day, people pigeonhole players and say, oh, he can only do one job, or Tielemans does it all. Today he done it all. I saw him, he was playing a little slightly deeper. He was able to intercept. He could run with people. He was strong. When he had the ball, he could hold it up, that kind of thing. He could do everything. And I think with McTominay, to make him a good player, you have to instruct him to do one job and one job alone, because he's quite limited. And going forward, we're on a rebuild now. Going forward, I don't think he's up for the job.
Can I just ask something? Sorry, I'm just gonna. Who's Scotland's central midfielders?
McTominay, McGinn.
Does
Southampton.
Who starts in the midfield for Scotland?
Gilmore and McGinn.
Right. McTominay plays in defence for Scotland, and Scotland are ranked what in the world? But we've got him as first choice at Old Trafford. Come on, something's wrong. Something's wrong.
But if you were to make the same argument about Kyle Walker, who's a far better right back than anyone we have, he plays as central defender for England. Like, what happens on the international stage doesn't always reflect. It's about how you set your team up and things. And McTominay, whilst playing as the sort of centre back for Scotland, his job is actually to build up the play. He plays a similar role in. I know that this is incredibly boring, but they use Liverpoolian tactics of having a central midfielder drop in to make a back three, and that is why McTominay's there. It's the same job.
But what about, they got two great left backs in Tierney and Robbo from Liverpool? They find a way to fit them both in, don't they?
But only one's playing left back.
Yeah, so where does Tierney plays as left sided centre back? Does he?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, I do think I do agree with Mr. B's point. I think that if he was that good as a midfielder, he would play in his best position.
Yeah, it seems crazy to me that Scott McTominay would be extremely well suited for the midfield in international football with his pace and power. I don't understand why he doesn't play there for Scotland, but I don't watch a great deal of them. I've got to be honest.
Do you want to look, because we're going to move on to the next point? Paddy, is there anything you want to add to that?
I remember Roy Keane in one of his blessed rants talking about when you look in the coach and you see McTominay, McFred, and what's that? They're not going to win you the Premier League. I tell you that now. No way they're going to win you the league. They're going to get you up there. A fair play, Bath Tom. I think your points are valid. I think your opinion's good, and I love it. I love it a bit. By the way, I think you're brilliant. I do. I love it. Your incisive analysis of quality. I really do. But I just think, I just. Today, do you know what? When I saw McTominay with that two-footed tackle, I thought, there you go. I know it was a mistimed one, but he was lucky to not go off. And let me just say one thing. One player to me for Leicester today, Maddison, was immense for Maddison for Leicester today. Yeah. I thought he really did join all the bits together. I didn't see us doing that at all, really. I thought Maddison was quality. He had that quality about him. I really did. I love it. I thought, and Brendan Rodgers on the touchline, you're talking about it now on Monday, was great. And then I watched the three lads up in our thing. Ralph, the other bloke with I don't know what his name is.
Chris Armas.
Was going on telling him, and Ralph's going, yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and then Darren going, yeah, all that, yeah, that's great, yeah, Ralph.
Did you see him getting attacked?
There's 3 of them. I thought, again, I did this with, I just thought Brendan Rodgers was brilliant. I thought we were getting managers on that touchline, conducting the orchestra as Guardiola does. He goes, he dances, you move there and stroke, conducts everything. But no, I was sitting there.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're not going to go into much detail because we've got 2 sort of subjects to discuss now. The first one is this. So this is over to you guys. I want to know, because we've got a great panel today. I want to know what the repair job is and where does it start. And I don't want to talk about like the Glazers or anything like that. I'm talking about the football side of things. We get a new manager in. We've seen what we've seen today. I mean, my heart's broken. It's really bad out there. So how do we start the repair job? Where do we start? And it doesn't matter how long. Let's have a discussion about this. We need to sort this out. The club has obviously got a plan, but what's your plan? And say you've got control of this club now, what are you going to do? So I'm asking you guys one at a time, or if just always to get all together, let's come up with a plan. What's the repair job here, or how you fix this Man United? Let's just summarize. How are we going
Monday, before go to the others, but P45 actually I'll have in my hand, and I'll be handing them out. They're all lined up.
Good shout. Good shout. Name names.
Sorry, carry on.
Mr. B, go on.
I think okay. Who deserves to stay at our club? Who's performing at a level that we feel is acceptable at the moment? I'm looking at younger Langer. Why? Because he runs a lot. You look at Bruno because of his stats last season. You look at Fred because he's the most improved player under Ranić. Is it Pogba who doesn't give a shit? Rashford who doesn't give a shit? Sancho who's still bedding in? I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even
what style
know
of
where
football
to
do you want to
start.
see next year?
I want to see
system?
in an ideal world, and maybe I'm showing my age, I would love to see 4-4-2. It's not happening, granted. So I will take 4-3-3, where everybody understands the positions that they're supposed to be playing in. So if they fall into the center forward position, they understand what they're supposed to be doing, who they're supposed to be passing to. I understand it's very robotic, but in a formation, individual players there's always a framework for individual players to thrive. Right now, there's no tactics, there's no format. I want to see 4-3-3. I want to see passing from the back. So when the team presses, the player knows he's got 2 or 3 options. I want to see our central midfielder, our deep line one, not hiding behind their forward so that he can't receive the football and the ball has to go long. I want to see a goalkeeper who doesn't kick the ball out of play or waste the ball 30 times in a game.
Sorry, Mr. B, instead of saying I want to see, can you do it in the Martin Luther King style? Say, I have a dream. Come on.
I have a dream that 11 of those motherfuckers who have been earning money for doing fuck all this season and for half of last season are no longer here this season. That includes Paul Pogba, who right now, it's Saturday evening, Monday, and I don't want to be on here. I swore earlier on, not on mic, and it cost me nothing. So I know if I start now, it's going to cost me money. So my dream right now is that we as Man United can somehow get the season totally finished, whether it's by a slap from Will Smith or his gun from that flashy light thing from Men in Black. Just wipe this whole season out, because the reset, I'll be on, all jokes aside, the reset's going to be painful because we don't know where we're going to finish. You know, we hoped it was 4th. We even hoped it would be 5th. right now you're looking at a drop off and a lack of confidence in the whole club. That's including us as fans now. You know, it's got to the stage where my heart's broken. It's mended for that 20 minutes before the game, and then it breaks again. That can only happen a certain amount of time. I can't go to Old Trafford and smack the Glazers in their head. I can only sit here and hope that they deal with things properly in the summer, because the season's finished. The season is finished.
What I'm hearing from you is like you want a clearance of players, the bad apples, the bad eggs, and you want to keep Bruno. You think Bruno is one of the only players who would probably stay. Over to you, Paddy. I have a dream speech, please.
I have a dream. I
Yes.
have a dream that one day I will walk out to Old Trafford and no, I'm going to calm down. I'm going to calm down. But not what you can do for your country, but what you can do for your country. That's what we're doing. Yeah. But you know what? It's a big one. You know, I'd love to see a plan. I'm interested to see what Bath Tom's going to say about a manager like Ten Hag comes in, who knows, and has that plan and pushes some of these out. I'm sorry, but Pogba, yeah, thank you, good night, bye bye. Here's your P45. You know, do you remember that thing in the Time Bandits where you had they all line up and he gives them John Cleese is playing Robin Hood and he goes, oh, here you are, and then smacks them and moves them to one side. Next one, hello, smacks them to one side. I'd love to see that happen, United, in an analogy, but just a few of them. Luke Shaw, sick note, he'd have to go as well. He'd definitely be in the lineup for him to go. But there's so many, and Gary Neville said it today. By the way, I'm trying to answer your question on Monday. He said he's never seen a mixed match of players of not going anywhere, not where they want to go. And I just thought it all summed up tonight, Gary Neville. I thought that's a really good, I don't know. The plan has to come in. De Gea, I thought was brilliant today. Keep starting back from the defence. The keeper's great. The defence needs sorting out. The midfield, and then do we go with a false number 9, which I can't understand it. Get a striker in. Depends on what Ten Hag's or what other manager comes in and does it. But it is really, really, it's a P45 job with an axe, unfortunately, with it in my hand saying, yeah, thank you. Down there, turn left, turn right. Thank you. And you as well. Thank you. Follow your mate. That's it. Bye. On your best. See you again. Right.
Bath time with all. We left you to last. I have a dream. Can you start with that, please?
Well, we're living in a bloody nightmare, lads. But
yeah.
We are. It's like Inception, but with bloody Aaron Wan-Bissaka instead of Leonardo DiCaprio. Right. So how do we do this? Okay. I think that there are two things.
I have a dream. Let's start with I have a dream, please.
Do I? Okay. I have a dream that starts with two things, right? And the first thing is we need like the coaches sorted out. Yeah. Like when earlier on, Paddy, who doesn't appear to have seen a film since like 1980, Time Bandits, like Dirty Dozen. It's like he gave the sort of the Dirty Dozen analogy. I'll say like Ocean's 11 or something made in the last 10 years.
Usual Suspects.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah, Usual Suspects. Like when Ollie came in as an interim, they were like, let's round up the lads, and they rang up Mike Phelan, and he was in Australia, and they rang Carrick up, and God knows where he was, probably selling fruit and veg. But we got in this sort of like random assortment of people and made a management team out of it, right? And that it's ridiculous when you think about it, but that actually happened. That was the coaches, which is this ragtag team. Then we get Ragnick coming in. I don't want to bang on about how much I hate Sacha Lenz and his lack of qualifications, or that Chris Amos is only qualified as a PE teacher, and that is literally what he's qualified as. But that's not good enough for Manchester United. That's standard of employee. So we need to get a manager in, and we need to decide on what the formation is. Our squad is set up for 4-2-3-1, right? We weren't playing 4-2-3-1 today, which is why it just looked ridiculous how we've got like Pogba playing as a false six, and like Alanga I don't know what Alanga was doing in that match. But the first thing is we need a system. We then need to get our recruitment right. And I know that people hate this on social media, but I want players with United DNA. I want players that want to play for the club and represent the values of the fans. I want Pogba never to pull on a Manchester United shirt again. If Rashford is not good, I want him sent to like a mental health camp for a week or like a month or whatever. I want us to start rebuilding the connection with the fans. I thought Solskjaer had done it. I thought there'd been a cultural reset. Last season we finished second and people were beginning to like the team again. Like, I know people don't like Martial, don't like Pogba, don't like McFred and all that, but it did feel during COVID that we'd connected with the team again. And maybe it was because of COVID that those bastards had nothing else to do but play football. Maybe that's why it was like that. But I want us to get back as a community club that represents values. So I agree with going in and clearing out, like Lingard and Pogba. It came through our bloody youth system. Like, get rid of them. They're not Manchester United players because they don't care enough. They don't run into the ground. And I want our recruitment to stop getting in people like Cavani, who, great player, one of Latin America's greatest ever strikers, but he's never fit and he doesn't care about the club. And someone should have known what he was like before we just spunked a load of money on him on deadline day.
Yeah.
So that's what I want. I want a formation, top quality coaches, and far better recruitment. And I also want the fan bet. I want us to connect with the team again. That's
the
Man
United agenda has a dream that we will be getting rid of players from Mr. B. Bruno would stay. We have a system going forward. We have a new formation or a good formation that works for our system. We have better recruitment. This is from you guys. Man United DNA. So values, better values for the fans, so we can sort of identify the players and to rebuild connection with the fans. This is from Bath Time. We want a community club. I know you talked about this yesterday, Bath. I've heard you talking about the community club, that side of things. I found that really interesting. And the recruitment, and not Dad's army, as Patrick would say. That's right. That's Patrick's.
They're mercenaries. I think. What's his name? He's come for a payday, hasn't he? What's his name?
Cavani.
He's a mercenary, isn't he? Along with Bastian Steinschweiger, another one that came in. I'm the brilliant German midfielder. He's into business, and then went. I'm not really up to this. I'm injured, and they got rid. And that's what's happened over the past, hasn't it? You know.
So do you think Thiago at Liverpool's in that same mould then?
No, he's 28. He was 29 when he went.
Okay.
He wasn't 30. We're buying 33 and 34-year-old players and expecting them to be able to play a whole season or change the way they play and adapt to a new thing. Or we expect them to be, run this. They don't give a toss. We should have got rid of Cavani when there was rumours that he wanted to go to wherever it was before January. We begged him to stay, and he's played 2 games, and we spent. What have we paid? How much money have we spent? There has to be a complete reset. We are just throwing money down the bloody toilet.
We are a mismatch. We are like a pile of spaghetti, I think I'd say. And we need to
spaghetti without oil. Without putting oil in the pot, it sticks together.
It's like pull that, and then just throw it in the bin.
Yeah, guys, I think we've had a dream, and let's hope people are watching, and we'll take some of our tips. So we're going to talk now quickly. Last bit of the show. Do you want to say to everyone in the comments, if you're watching, make sure you press the like button. All right, we're going to stop until you press the like button. Press it now. Give you a little time to press the like button and big us up if you don't mind, please. We're now talking about the players and manager ratings for today, please. David De Gea. Anyone want to rate him out of 10 and just give a little description about what he felt? I think distribution. Can I come to you, Bath Time, quickly? Distribution. That's your bugbear with De Gea. How was he today?
One of my many bugbears. Poor. He put Varane under pressure a huge amount in the first half with underhit passes. But he wasn't the worst goalkeeper on the pitch. I'll tell you that. Like he's better than Schmeichel.
Yeah.
I would give him a 6, and I might be being a bit unfair here. I mentioned it earlier. I think he probably should have stopped the goal. I'm not sure. I would be interested what the comments say if I'm being unfair. But if you get a full hand to the goal, to the ball, and it's not going in the corner, I think you should be saving that, shouldn't you? I don't know.
Throw it
What do
out
you
there.
reckon?
Throw it out there, guys.
Yeah.
Declare, please. We got 6 from bath time.
I'll take the 5. I'm giving him a 5. I'm not sure. I will have to watch the goal again. Bath time, because you did mention it before, so I will have a look. But at the moment, it's I'm not going to give the hair a 5. I will go 6, but if it is really his fault for it, then it will gladly be changed to a 5. No problem.
Patrick?
I think I'll give him an 8 because of that save that he made towards the end, which was from the header, and that was a certain goal. I'll give him that only. You're right, there are some misgivings, and Bath Time's correct, Mr. B's correct. There are, but he seems to have been our player of the season, which as a goalkeeper again is so wrong, really, isn't it?
It's horrible.
He's hogging that award, isn't he? Dallo at right back. Mr. B.
For me, right, yeah.
Can I rate all of the defenders as 1 just to get it out of the way?
Do your defense. Yeah, just
Okay.
5, whatever number.
All of the defenders, I will be giving a 4. Luke Shaw, I will give a 3, and Teles, I will give a 3. So whatever mark that adds up, but the team.
Harry Maguire played well.
Oh, okay, so Harry Maguire gets a 4.5 then.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Paddy.
I'm going to give -1 to all the back 4, to be fair. But you're right. I think Maguire, I'll give him 2, maybe. Varane, 1. Teles. Luke Shaw for me, 0. And Dalot, I would give him 1, maybe. But that's it. That's it for me. Sorry.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
That must be a record.
Teles.
I'm Drew.
Teles.
Paddy, you're screwed.
I'm just really,
Bath time, defenders.
I'd give Maguire a 6. I would give Varane a generous 5. I'd give Delo 4 because I did put him 1 cross, but I'd give him 4. And as for Teles, I don't think I've seen a worse fullback performance at Old Trafford for a very, very long time. I thought he was disgraceful. 2.
Yeah.
Really awful.
That's generous, that is, Bath time for 2.
Compared to yours, Paddy.
Yeah.
I was going to say Harry Maguire, and that's why I singled him out. I thought he played okay today. Didn't make any mistakes. That's a start. Won a few headers, got a few interceptions where he rushes in. You think, oh God, your heart's racing. What's going to happen here? But he done okay today, and he's sort of like you were saying, Patrick. The communication wasn't there. I don't see. Maybe people just don't listen to him. Maybe he's giving up talking because no one's really hearing him anymore. I think Ronaldo's sort of.
He just does this. He goes. I watched him again. He goes.
Midfield, guys. Paddy, while you're there, give us the midfield. Fred, McTominay,
my mate Kieran, who goes to the games, he's got a platinum season holder in the seats. He knows about the show tonight. He hasn't commented tonight, but he's watching tonight. But he said Fred was our best player. Me and him always argue about Fred, to be fair. But Fred, I'll give him 6. He did well. Scott McTominay, I'm with you on that on Monday. It's 6 again. Who's the other? Who's the other midfielder?
It's kind of in midfield, I think, if you could say that.
Well, 4-3-2-1, I think it was. But I think Pogba, again, poor. 3. That's it. 3.
One pace Pogba. Half time, midfield.
I agree with Paddy's mate. I think that Fred was our best player. So I'll give him 6.5. Do we do halves? We do now.
Yeah.
6.5.
I don't, but I suppose you can. Yeah.
All right, 7 then. I would give McTominay a 5, like a distinctly average performance, and Paul Pogba, Jesus. He wasn't as bad as Tellez, so I give him a 3, but he was bloody awful, and I hate him. I'm very reactionary after games, but I hate him at the
That's
moment.
passion, though, Bathwater. I love the passion.
Bathwater.
Mr. B. We've got Fred McTominay and Pogba.
Okay, well, McTominay's going to get a 3. And that's just because he came out on the picture of everybody else and he took the knee. Well done. Apart from that, he was shocking. I don't know what he did. Fred, as I said, Fred is the most improved player in our team under Ralph. He's still not good enough to be a first-team player at Man United, but I will give Fred a 6 today. Paul Pogba. I'm gonna give Paul Pogba a 2. I think he doesn't give a fuck, man. I understand, it's is he fasting?
He will be, yeah.
Okay, so he's still gonna get a 2.
Okay, I just want to, with the midfield, I'm just going to focus on Pogba. I think Pogba is like, at his age now, he should be playing the best football of his career. I think his career overall, I know he's won a World Cup, but his period at Man United has been disappointing. I think we were talking about Van Nistelrooy the other day. It's 5 years at the club. What a great striker. He only won 1 title, and that could be seen as this disappointment. But when you compare that to someone like Pogba, who's also could be considered world-class, he should be on his face because this period of time at Man United has been rubbish. He was when he was at the youth as a youth player, he was one of the best youth players we've seen. He was dominating games, and we thought, God, this is the future. But career-wise, he's coming to the end of his career because you reach him 30, or the next contract. That's probably his last contract. And the pace, I don't see him getting away from players anymore. Granted, he's strong, he can hold up things. Obviously, he's got talent. He can 1-2 touch football, brilliant. But at this level in Premiership, when you sometimes need to have that drive, I don't see it anymore. He gets caught up so easy. So I don't know. I think Pogba is probably not suited us.
He also
just going back to sorry, Bathwater.
I'm
so mad. You're like our midfield or our centre back pairing.
Bathwater,
bumped into each other at Liverpool. Go on. yeah. No communication. One of you, all right. Paddy, you go first because you started first. Yeah,
I'm not communicating. I'm doing a Maguire now. But you know what? it's. I've lost my thread now. Pogba has not emulated the greats from this club. And I'm at the Monday that we were. I'm quite past, and I'm in the present. And by the way, Bathwater, I do like films that are past 1996. By the way, but you know what?
Okay.
Pogba has not emulated these greatest players, and he won't. When he leaves his club, he won't. I don't think he'll. I'd be embarrassed if I was the player, who's not emulated those greatest players from the past and done the business. It's a sad indictment and a shame, really. It really is.
Bath time before.
Well, just to address Pat there, Riola hasn't opened his mouth for a bit because he's been extremely ill, like hospitalised and things.
Really?
Yes, he's been on life support and things. And as much as I think he's a dickhead, wish him the best. No one deserves to die.
Oh, so okay. I thought he was okay. Yeah, I thought he was.
Yeah, no, he was proper sick a month or 2 ago. With Pogba, today I saw something from Pogba I've never seen before, which is the slowest 2-footed slide challenge ever. Do you remember that in the first half?
Yeah.
Like you say, he was fasting.
Yeah.
Man was slowing. I've never seen anything like that in my life. Don't worry, Pat. I know the point that you were making. You're enjoying that.
That was good. Yeah, go on.
Cheers. Yeah, no.
Happy Ramadan, everyone.
Bath time. Was he doing this today? Was he going?
Yeah.
No, he just wasn't interested. I mean, the thing about Paul Pogba is I think Paul Pogba as a man is probably a nice guy, and I think that deep down he does want to be a good player, and he does sometimes, and I think he does want to perform well for Manchester United, but he's never adapted to the Premier League. You know, he can bully people in international and Serie A with his physicality. But here, like, there was that guy, like Drewsbury Hall or whatever, who's just
he had a
like,
good game.
He had a good game. Harvey Barnes had a good game as well. And they just exactly they had the desire and they had the hunger to get past Pogba. And for a man fasting, you'd expect a lot more hunger.
Yeah. Just want to go. Eddie was on the show doing a preview. He did call it 1-1, and he also said that Matic should play, and he was disrespecting Tomley, same as me. So Eddie, I'm going to come to you for more tips in future. Well done. Lastly, let's just finish up, guys, with the subs and the forwards. Well, we say forwards, but we had Bruno up there with Sancho and Elanga. Can I just say on Sancho, I heard what Patrick was saying earlier. Yeah. I think Sancho needs a good team around him with a good structure. I have a dream talk, all those attributes we wanted from his team. I think Sancho would shine in a good team. Just unfortunate today he was trying things with a team that just weren't on the same page. So, scoreline, please. Let's start with you, Mr. B. Let's wrap this up quick.
Sancho, I'll give a 6. He tried. Bruno, I'll give a 5. He was on the pitch. And Elanga, I'll give a 5 because he tried. Rashford, I can't give Rashford ever a 3. I'll give Rashford a 4 just because he fed a lot of the poor kids.
God. Bath time. Let's have it. Forwards and the subs.
Mate, I think I give them all 4. Like, if you're getting subs, I'd give Matic a 5. Like, just an average performance. Didn't do anything wrong, didn't do anything right, wasn't able to cover the ground. Not his fault. But like Sancho played within himself, scared but kept the ball, didn't work as hard as he normally did, which worried me. Elanga, I just don't think Elanga's ready for top flight football. He's just not great at decision making, which is what you'd expect from a teenager. Like, very physical, extremely good in the air, which is surprising for a small man. But I don't think he should be in. I know a lot of people call him Charlie McNeil today and the kids. Like, let them enjoy their FA Cup run. Like, don't put them in front of Old Trafford with the club captain being booed. Rashford, he looked lost, but he's still venomous. There's still an element of danger when he gets the ball, and I still have a hope that a proper manager can turn him around. Bruno, Bruno things used to be like stat padding and scoring penalties and his hat celebration. Now it's just whinging and crying, and I mean, like when Elanga slide tackled Ronaldo, Bruno was in the ref's face asking for a penalty. And I was like, what is this? I don't know. Yeah, Bruno 4, all of them 4. They're all bastards, and I hate all of them at the
moment. Paddy's been, well, no, before we go, Paddy's been dropping, like, I don't think everyone scored more than a 2 in Paddy's rating. So maybe the forwards will have an opportunity to get 3 or 4.
Bruno had an okay game. He tried bits and pieces. I still wasn't impressed with him, Bruno, today. Elanga, he was quick today, but again, in moments. Sancho, again, we talked about having a bit no substance, nice touch on the ball. He looks really, he looked fantastic and then dropped off. No, I give him maybe give him more 6, maybe. 6, definitely 6. And the subs, Matic came on, didn't he? And did a bit, he'd get a 3. That's but he's another one. P45, and he'd be slowly walking out the door, wouldn't he? With a P45.
Definitely.
Slow walk towards the door.
All right, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up now. All the guys in the comments, thank you so much. Didn't get round to all of you, but you know how it goes. There's 9 of you watching live now. Can you please press the like button? We did get to 21 likes, apparently. So well done. I did predict that before the show. And what's the next game, guys? Who we got next?
We're playing next week, Saturday. We've got a week to digest this bullshit.
Yeah.
And then we've got
Everton
next week.
Palace and Arsenal, and hopefully Arsenal will get beat. But yeah,
Arsenal's going to be difficult. Arsenal's going to be difficult on Monday. Seriously,
look, on Monday. Let's be honest, right? Even if Arsenal lost every game from now till the end of the season, they're still going to finish ahead of us.
They are.
At least it'd be fun.
Yeah. I'd love to see it. And one thing, you know what? I'm going to give Arsenal credit where it's due now because we come to that stage of the season. I think
Mute your mic. Mute your mic. Mute your mic. Mute your mic. You're not allowed to give them that on this show. Mute your mic.
Now, anyway, I actually look at Arsenal when they played Leicester a couple of weeks ago and they beat them. I thought, wow, Arsenal are really on this, and it shows where they are, how much they progressed as a team. We don't have that to fall back on as that teamwork or anything like that. Arsenal do at the moment, so fair play to them. They've done well, and the league doesn't lie. And we're in the mud. We're in the mud. So, guys, I'm really grateful. It's been a great panel. Mr. B, thank you so much for coming on. Bath Time, once again, thank you so much for your contributions and coming on again. And Paddy as well, top man. Thank you again for coming on and representing for the Man United agenda. We will be back, obviously. Set your alarm bells, people. It's a new week. On Monday, we've got a show. It's not just a normal show. It's our anniversary. So happy birthday to us. We're 1 year old. And it's not the way I wanted to go into the celebrations. You know, maybe it would cheer us up. Maybe Mr. B would sing or do some karaoke or something crazy. He did promise us, Mr. B. Maybe Paddy would do some actual acting or something like that.
I will sing, and I will sing with Mr. B. I'll do some nice one again.
Good, a duet. And maybe Bath Time. Bath Time, what can you do? Got any party tricks?
Good at impressions.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe you can do us. Maybe you can do us from behind.
I don't want to do you on Monday.
You can do Errol. I bet you can do Errol. That's for sure. All right. On that note, make sure you tune in on Monday night. It's going to be a happy birthday to us, and we really appreciate all the support. And we'll be giving lovely speeches about how we began, some funny stories, some infighting. You know, all the. All the nasty stuff that you don't usually hear that we do. We keep behind closed doors, but we might reveal some of that. So get ready for some big revelations, guys. And we're just trying to entice you to tune in. But yeah, it will be a fun day and a fun week because all week we'll be celebrating our birthday. And we've grown a lot, and we've introduced like the two guys below us right now. We've introduced them to the channel as well, and they're I mean, it's fantastic. We've really come a long way. If you go and watch one of the first shows. It's a car crash, and now I thought it was a write-off, you know, initially. But now we've got our service, and we're looking good, shining good, and I'm really happy with the team that we've got right now. And that's not Man United; it's the Man United agenda. That's what it's all about. So big up, guys! Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for all the likes, and we're signing out. See you later.
Okay.